Hello, everyone. This is a tired group of people after a long conversation that we enjoyed a lot. At the end of the fourth Curfew chat, and we'd like to go through what we discussed very briefly to fill you in, and hopefully have you with us next time. I'm going to share the browser that we all shared during the meeting, and while I'm doing that, I'll pass it on to Nick to talk about our group and what we're doing here.
Thanks very much. Yep. So we're designing open democracy, and so we regularly have curfew chats. And what we were discussing tonight was about we started off with like local government and engaging with local government, as will shortly be brought up. But we're looking at ways of improving. How to design democracy so it becomes better.
Yeah, Brian, do you want to make a quick comment about what our group is as one of the co-founders of the group?
Oh, yes. As Nick was talking about, like designing open democracy is meant to be a forum to help explore ways that democracy can be improved, and not necessarily in generally like what political parties exist and so on, but in terms of how do you change the game itself.
Beautiful. We are also working on consolidating our internal understanding of what this group is, and then putting it concisely in. It's going to be reflected on the website very soon, which already has very good content. It's a very good representation of what this group is about, I would say, personally. It's at designingopendemocracy.com. You can find out more. This tab was open because we were looking for the YouTube page. It's not there. So hopefully when you check it, the YouTube link is there. Why did he? Oh, phone hacking scandal in the UK. There was a reference to that. We didn't get to talk much about it. I was trying to find it while the conversation was going on. Then the website. And we have the wiki up. Where is it? Okay, here it is. wiki.designingopendemocracy.com is up and running. This is a page on the wiki where this is one of the, I think it's the very first page on the wiki. Some ideas about what to put on the wiki, and we'd love you to come to this URL, log in, or create an account, and then log in and start contributing to it. It's like Wikipedia, as we see here. It's just our version. And we'd like to thank Osman and here. We're hoping that we're saying your name right here. Thank you so much for contributing your time, and especially Osman, and especially here, both especially Osman, because he created this initiative and followed up very persistently for 2 or 3 weeks time until this is up and running. And especially for here is because he was offered to be paid for this, but he offered his time to contribute to our group for free as a volunteer. We appreciate that so much. Okay, what we're planning to do for this group, for this wiki, is putting all sort of stuff in it. We're gonna get there in one of those tabs that are open. But for now, because we are right now, as we're speaking, Victorian council, local council election is going on, we might actually start putting some content about local councils in Victoria. Let's see how we go. Any comment here before I move on?
No.
All right, we've got a no, and we've got an absence of comments. Okay, so we talked a little bit about local council elections. Moonee Valley City Council is one of them, and this is the website. But the point that this was brought up is that this local council actually has a YouTube channel where you can find local council meetings in length. This one, for example, uploaded a month ago, is 3 hours and 40 minutes. Another one, 2 hours and 50 minutes, almost 3 hours, which is really good. And I believe this is an initiative that this local council on their own have made, which is great. The point was made, though, that, okay, even though this is great that it's up here, but no one can possibly, have all the time to watch them, practically speaking, not possibly, practically. So maybe someone from the community can create short version of them and send it to them for them to upload. We also explored an amazing website, knowyourcouncil.vic.gov.au. Thanks to Nick to explore that more. And as part of this website, there's a page in there where you can pick any local council that you like. And let me go to tile view. It looks like a very cute website. It's nothing like a government website, to be honest. It's really good. So there is a great looking, at least, summary of the performance of Melbourne City in this case in the last financial year, I believe, in different areas: sustainability, financial performance, waste collection, statutory planning, I don't know what that means, roads, mental and child health, all that. And when you open one of them, let's say governance, just because we're interested in governance a lot, and there are different, in terms of transparency. And when you go to transparency, there's some data and there's information about what that even means and what the council says. That's interesting. Something for you to explore. You can download, it's open data in that regard, you can call it. So any comment there before we move on?
No, it's fine.
And I remember I also here spoke a little bit about APIs, what they are, and how APIs is related to the concept open data, where APIs allow government to open data that they produce as a result of their operation to the general public to make good use of it, where governments, in areas where government doesn't need to do certain things with the data, public can do that. And actually, funnily enough, tonight I'm wearing the t-shirt for GovHack, actually. That's
nice.
Coincidence, but actually let me talk a little bit about that if you guys don't mind.
No worries.
I think in the video, my avatar is like, I have to do this. So this is GovHack. Those who don't know what a hackathon is, when they see this logo, they freak out because they think you're probably hacking into government. But what it means governments actually, and it's also not run by the government. GovHack is a group of people, civil society, you can call it, but civil members of society, came together and said, there's a lot of data available by the governments in Australia. How about we help them make it accessible to the public, and we put together an event and we invite innovators and problem solvers from the community and introduce them with that data. And in 2 days' time, put up a competition for them to solve problems. Where would those problems come from? Some government agencies, they would come up with what's called a problem statement or a challenge. So for example, in one of the years, pay TV in Victoria normally does that. Public Transport Victoria comes and says, this is a challenge we'd like to work on. And these are all our data sets. And innovators, members of public, they come together, facilitated by GovHack, and they look at the data and they see what kind of things they can build to address that issue, or they can build anything they want. And that event happens all over Australia and New Zealand, over 40 locations at the same time. I believe it's the largest hackathon in the world. And it's been started in 2009, when hackathons were not a thing really. And it's a great thing. So look it up if you want to participate, especially if you're in Australia and New Zealand. It's a great way of
cool.
learning a lot while you can actually directly help. Maybe
cool.
we can have an actual event as part of our group about them. Just a note from myself or anyone else who's happy to remind me. Moving on.
Yeah. Can I just raise one question or one thing? Like Sarah B joined us during this discussion, and I think you and Brian had a good discussion with her at the beginning about like something about how it's participatory or lack of engagement there is in like the way like the federal parliament's website is like sort of designed was one thing you were discussing about, but I think you might have been was there anything else from that discussion you wanted to raise here?
That's really good. Firstly, I welcome Sarah, who have just joined us. Just a little bit of a heads up, Sarah. We are recording these 5-10 minutes. We're wrapping up the session, going through what we discussed. So this is being recorded, and we're going to share it on our YouTube. We can potentially edit things out, but we normally just use the recording. It's easier. If you like to, let me look at the comments. Yeah, if you like to, you made a lot of good points earlier in the meeting when we were talking about council elections. Here, I don't have a tab open for it. If you like to, make any comment about it right now.
Oh, no, she's not here now, but she was here before.
Oh, okay. You know what happened?
SB is shared browser.
Yeah, SB is myself. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I thought
I said Sarah B was here earlier.
Yeah, that was funny. All right, yeah. So, moving on then. No, I got excited. I saw SB.
No, but but I just thought that you guys had a discussion.
It's funny that because at the same time there was also an unread message, and this also shows you, when you believe in a certain thing, everything, confirmation bias, then you pick up different, data points that confirms what you assumed, not believe, assumption is a better word. Yeah, which is really relevant in these days as we speak. This is still before 2020 election in the US. So for those who are watching this video later, this is kind of a headspace.
I think we were talking about the voting leaflets and the information about all the candidates in our council elections, and how it's a little bit hard to figure out who you would vote for exactly. Nick, do you have the sheets? Yes,
I do. This is my local council ward. So you may, for anyone watching this, each council area in Victoria is separated further into wards, and then you elect someone to represent your ward on the council. And so you get given this voting sheet. Voting is compulsory, and it gives you some background about each of the candidates that they write themselves.
And someone mentioned, while we were talking about that, that it would have been great if we had a similar thing like vote
Compass,
Compass for the Victorian state election, council election, and we learned that vote Compass is not, the funding is stopped and it's not running anymore. So Nick, do you want to tell us very briefly about what Compass was?
Yeah, sure. Like Vote Compass was it's a tool to basically compare yourself to the political parties on your stance on a range of issues. So, for instance, this was done in the latest federal election about so you would answer some questions about environment, some about like healthcare, some about like taxation, like all these kinds of areas that the government might make policies and make regulations about, and based off those answers it would compare you to each political party, and it would tell you to which political party you were most closely aligned, and then it plots you on an axis on how economically and politically I guess in terms of whether you're economically more in terms of privatization, or if you're more like socialist, and in terms of whether you're more authoritarian or libertarian, to put it like in very blunt terms. But it would compare you on this political spectrum to those groups, and on a range of questions, and so you could see which party would be most aligned to what you want.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's brilliant explanation, and sad that it's not funded, and hopefully very soon we'll see innovations emerging from the community itself and doesn't require massive funding. And
hopefully we could reach out to Vox Pop Labs as well as these ABC and Melbourne Uni to learn more about Red Compass and how the findings and innovations that they did can be continued.
Yeah. If you are, as you're listening or watching this video, if you have some ideas about similar things about like how to innovate in the democracy realm, could be democracy of the whole country, could be local, could be organizations, feel free to reach out because we talk about these things a lot. We may be able to point you at certain projects and or maybe potentially help you connect with those organizations who've had experience running these things. And also, if you're an organization active or if your name is mentioned here, please reach out. There would be people that we like to connect to about what they like to do. So we like to be a conduit. Is it a good word here? A conduit, yeah, between in the innovation realm in the democracy realm. An enabler. All right, moving on. What is this? Oh, that's the same thing. Find the council. We talked about it.
Yep.
And yeah, sorry. Who wants to talk about it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Usman asked about this evaluating democracy reform proposal. So one of the things he was interested in doing in the wiki for designing open democracy, and we're interested in doing in the wiki, is evaluating the apps or not just the apps, but the various like democracy sort of enables like technologies, interventions that are being used to basically assist and enhance democracy, I guess. And so we have this article on the discuss.designingopendemocracy.com. And it's an article that compares democracy reforms, and these are systemic democracy reforms that I actually wrote, but basically using it as a way of, as a template maybe for comparing like democracy reform apps and other enhancements that are being made to democracy technologies. Not necessarily as extensive, but yeah, this is why this article was brought up, just to show that maybe there's something from that, like just in terms of the structure, that might be able to be used for comparing other forms of democracy reforms or enhancements.
Thank you so much. As you can see, it's a very extensive document and followed by some seemingly very active line of discussion, and yeah, this is great. So this discussion item has produced so much content that, as was mentioned, we're planning to port the content of it to the wiki. This is part of discuss.designingopendemocracy.com, which you can actually find by going to our website. There's discuss menu item over there. And let's go there and see what's in there. Last item was posted 26 days ago, so not bad. Okay, moving on. This is our Trello board. It's a bit messy. This is where we're hoping this Trello board helps us be more organized, productive, and be more, how would you put it, successful.
If there's anything to do with the wiki, we can definitely move that to the right, because the wiki started now.
Is it in the projects?
Yeah.
To do this one. Oh, okay, this is done.
Yay!
Okay, on this video, we introduced the done column, and install wiki, it goes to doing, and it goes to done. Let me find out the proper spelling, correct spelling of Here, was it?
Yeah, HIEU.
HIEU. Okay. Great. Thanks to and Hugh for making this happen.
Well, democracy would be nothing without you. I mean,
Yes.
democracy would be nothing without Hugh.
Yeah, humans of 2,300, when they discovered this, yeah, they would know who started the whole democracy design movement. And speaking of what Usman, so this is a website that Usman, I was trying to find a media wiki page. So this is a project, a passion project of Usman, javel.org. There's some very useful information in there. I'm trying to
Oh,
find
it's /wiki.
/wiki, not wiki dot. Okay. Thank you, Brian. There's also a lot of good content in there, especially there is a particular page. If I can find it, there is an overview of all the tools that there must be a way to get to that page from
You have to search for it, I think. Search.
all site pages. Okay. There is, okay, the two pages I want to bring up on Javel. One is apps and software related to governments and politics. So you go to javul.org, javel.org/wiki. Then on the sidebar, you choose all sites pages, and then you'd find apps and softwares related to governments and politics. It's a very extensive list. We'll port this to our wiki because that's how our wikis work. No one owns it. It's in the public domains. Anyone can pick them, modify them.
Yeah.
So
and this is what I was talking about before in terms of we want to, and what, well, I mean, Usman definitely brought it up that he was interested in creating an evaluation of these because he's listed them all. He's done all the research, but yeah, it would be great to have an evaluation of those.
This is a great source for researchers, and also if you are a local council candidate or member, you're going to use tools. It's a great starting point. You can even give it to, you can even commission someone to go through this list and find what's appropriate for you. Or maybe you can commission Osman to do that because he's already gone through this list. That's what I would do personally. If I'm smart, you pay Osman. Hey, this is my situation. This is my county, my jurisdiction. This is my circumstance. I want a tool that does this and that. Pay Osman, and he's already done this, and he can consult you. I'm speaking for Osman. Of course, he has never mentioned this. The second page on javel.org that I wanted you to know about is this very interesting idea that Usman has, which is way more than idea in terms of the development of it now. Performance-based system for electing better leaders. And it's quite detailed system that Osman has put a lot of thought through, and we discussed it in our last meeting. I suggest you have a read, and this is one of the projects that we, as part of Designing Open Democracy, we like to support Osman bringing this to life. So feel free to reach out to us or Osman directly if you're interested in contributing to this project. More on that on other videos on our YouTube channel or on our website. Moving on. What is this? I was trying to find our own YouTube channel. And also, it was difficult to find because I'm using this alternative search website or non-Google search website, which is called Quant, QWANT.com. Give it a try. I'm finding it's better than DuckDuckGo. So if you don't want to stick to Google or get stuck or be stuck with Google. That's pretty much now. Anything else? I missed pretty much the second half of the meeting. If anything from that second half that you want to bring on, is it time, Brian or Nick?
What did you think, Brian?
I think it covers most of the technical things that we need to consider about the wiki, so there's not much to really cover aside from we just need to make sure we find more contributors and get in touch with all. Oh yeah, I remember you were talking about effective altruism, and maybe we need to just ping them to let them know that we exist still.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it's just like good point. It's just this. Yeah, well, I guess we were saying that this does seem like important work that someone should be doing, and like they could potentially assist with this.
And plus, they may want to know because, like, if I
Mm.
remember,
Oh yeah, true.
they help provide funding for various charity groups, and maybe they might want to know which democracy group is effective.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. And which app is effective as well? If or which yeah, like technologies, yeah, all that democracy enhancements, as I'm gonna start calling them, maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
So if
Um,
yeah, if you're wondering, if those who are watching, if you're wondering what effective altruism is, we
yeah.
talked about it in more details in the previous video. Hopefully, by the time you go and find that video, we've got the whole split. Uh,
Hmm.
in minutes, YouTube allows you to put it in chunks and kind of create a little index of items discussed in the video. Just go and find it. It's discussed in details in Curfew chat number 3. What I'm going to add tonight, which is not there, is I learned today, actually tonight, that effective altruism has chapters in almost all universities in Australia. So
Mm-hmm.
something for
Yeah.
you to, yeah, it's great to know basically. So you can go and find your local chapter
Yeah.
contact point to learn more about
Yeah.
this or become your chapter point.
Exactly. They're even like internationally. There's many
Okay.
effective altruism
Yeah, there
chapters as
might be in
well.
the country or city you're in, there might not be a chapter point. I'm calling it chapter point for now. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you like the concept, you can get involved. That was the impression that I had. And also Nick, an organizer of this group, has also been involved a bit effective altruism uh, in a capacity of vice president, I believe. So if you have any question, you can directly reach out to Nick to learn more about them.
Yeah, sure.
Beautiful. So how to reach out, Nick? Someone asks. At the moment, we have on our website, there's a contact us page, and there's some emails here, which is not gonna be there any longer. But when you come back to contact us, you'd find ways to find us. I like to believe all of us are very reachable. Yeah, no problem.
And also, you can message us on Meetup, I believe, is a good way to contact us.
Yeah, meetup as well. Like for now, or if you couldn't find us there, um, if you go to
Or the
meetup,
forum, don't forget.
what is the forum?
Like, discuss.designing open democracy.
Discuss. Yes, that's right. You can, yeah. But for now, we're talking about contacting us. If you go to meetup, designing open democracy. If you search democracy in Australia at the moment, I believe we are one of the very few, if not the only, groups that is dedicated to democracy. You go there, and this I'm logged in as an organizer, so you should be able to contact organizers somewhere. And also, this is a good way of kind of being notified about the latest events. Join us in our next event. We'd like to keep our fortnightly gatherings. This is one of those. So hopefully we can see you in one of the fortnightly gatherings. We have some opposition internally, objections against the word curfew chat, but we'll see how that goes. All right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
curfew is now lifted in Victoria, so we're now allowed out after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Okay.
Maybe we should rename it to something like Democracy Design Lockdown Chat.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
We're technically still under lockdown.
Is it a pun? Oh, okay. Like literally. Okay. Yeah, we gotta be careful. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. but we'll try to find a good name for when you're joining us. We are 240 members right now, and this is a technical discussion group. It's mainly for system thinkers, engineers, and entrepreneurs. This makes up most of our members. Of course, this is not exclusive to these.
We should always diversify.
Yeah, this is the makeup of group to give you an idea what kind of thinking probably goes into planning or managing. But of course, everyone's welcome to come and contribute, especially as we become more and more articulate about what we're trying to do, which we are in that process of clarifying that for ourselves, and as I'm also articulating it for other people.
Well, I mean, if you're interested, if you are watching this and you're interested in learning about democracy reform interventions, come along to one of our Designing Open Democracy discussion chats, and we can tell you all about the different democracy reform interventions that we've been encountering. And we'd be keen to have more members of the general public as well. If you're interested, please come along, because curiosity is really the only requirement.
Beautiful. You just heard from Nick, who's written this extensive page on democracy reform proposals. All right. Thank you so much. Any final note?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's all I do.
Well, for those in Australia who got the ballot, make sure you don't forget to submit it before the deadline. Don't want to get the fine.
Oh, that's just Victoria. Yeah, Victorians. Remember. But also, Victorians, like, as we mentioned earlier, there's info there on how your council's doing. So have a look into that, and hopefully that can inform your decision.
Beautiful. And I'm so surprised that Brian actually forgot to mention the podcast. So, Brian, here's my gift to you. Tell us about the podcast.
Well, the podcast series is a stream of audios where we try to cover in details some of the events around or projects around the world which people may want to know in terms of like citizen juries, blockchain votings that they could potentially implement in their country. But at the same time, we're also trying to explore beyond just the technical aspects and into a little bit more into the philosophical ideas behind why you would want to improve democracy. And that is shown in our first episode on trust. And in addition, we're also trying to explore beyond just like say the technical aspects of voting to maybe like even the non-governmental aspects like democracy in the workplace. So that's why one of the latest episodes we're covering is about how do you improve like working in companies in such a way that it feels more like you have an actual stake in your company, and that topic is covered in the Beyond Social Corporate Responsibility Towards Economic Democracy, where we talk about cooperatives and how it is essentially a workplace democracy that maybe you may want to implement in your next business. I think that we'll cover most things. Of course, there's more topics to cover, but that's as we go along, of course.
Beautiful. Speaking of the last item, cooperatives, if you're watching this shortly after we make this video, look up Fabian's group is going to have an event specifically on cooperatives. And another news that would be news to Brian and Nick as well. This is I received an email from one of our members, Cesare from Agora Project, who is based in the US, I believe in Washington, D.C. at the moment. he will be joining a local Australian radio on Monday, which basically you can tune into. We recommend listening to what Cesare has to say and check out his projects as well. It's going to be 10 a.m. Adelaide time, Monday, 12th of October on Tribe FM 91.1.
Hopefully he could pitch us as well.
What's that?
Hopefully that this would also be an opportunity for the Australian public to discover us through him as well.
Oh, well, that's up to him whether he wants to mention it or not. We'll see. But yeah, at least we're doing our duty to. Well, I thought that's as one of our members. He didn't ask for me to advocate for this, but he just let me know as a personal note. But I thought as one of the things one of our members is doing, which is interesting because it's happening in Australia, even though they're based in the US. And Agora, does anyone remember the project URL?
It's Igora-ilp.com.
Igora.
Yeah, so it's Igora, EGORA hyphen ILP.com.
ILP, is it?
ILP, yeah.
ILP?
Yeah, which stands for International Logic Party.
Ah, beautiful. Okay, right, yeah. Let's see if...
I don't know if it's .org or .com.
Let's see if Quant help us find it. Quant, this is a challenge for you. Before I move on back to Google. There's a website called democracy.community. That's something to check out later. But I'll just go to Google. It's good that YouTube started allowing us to kind of create an index of every chunk of the video, so I don't really feel bad of rambling anymore, except for the fact that Brian wants to go to sleep, which I hope he forgives me later. Okay, Igora. No, so Igora, one of the things, Igora, if you're here listening, you got to do better.
No, it's Igora, so it's Igora-ilp.org.
Is it an I or an E?
It's an I.
That was it. IGORA, is that?
No, it's EGORA hyphen ILP.
Yeah. Beautiful. Teamwork. Beautiful. And apologies, like I didn't. Igora apparently is a thing of ancient Athens that I didn't know.
Yeah, it's from Agora, which means marketplace, but they made it an Igora because it's like obviously like email. So that's why it's a combination of the ancient marketplace of Agora and an internet space.
Beautiful. What Nick said is actually is discussed here. Igora is a contraction of electronic and Agora.
Yeah, there we are.
And it's an interesting project. Definitely, I recommend exploring it. And that's what that was the context for what I just mentioned about the latest news. And while we're here, all of us together, let's have a quick look into democracy.community. This is news to me. This, of course, this is what Austin told us about, and who just we just did a week worth of events. It was a summit, and I hope Austin can fill us in with the content that he went through throughout the week. All right, thank you so much for being with us, and hopefully see you in another Curfew chat or whatever we end up calling it.
See ya.
Bye.